Hi everyone, it's Becky here. So welcome to another new video here on my YouTube channel. And here we are spending another day in Oxford, England. And I think the Harry Potter movies were filmed at several locations in Oxford. And today is a much colder day here in Oxford. And yeah, it's gonna rain anytime. And spring has arrived in England. And I really want to sketch the Radcliffe camera, but it's actually very chilly to sit outside today. So I'm actually going to the Natural History Museum of Oxford University. And it's a really big museum with lots of specimens to see. And I really love these historical arches and pillars. So I see animal and plant specimens. Lots of dinosaur fossils and animal skeletons, as well as animal taxidermy. Here's a very rare specimen of a dodo bird that's already extinct. And I feel like I could come here pretty much every day for months to sketch these specimens. Yeah, this place is just super inspiring, and I feel like sketching almost every single specimen in here. Yeah, especially the dinosaur fossils and these animal skeletons, elephants, deers. This is like a huge collection of animal skeletons. Wow. And this is a skeleton of a squirrel monkey. That's amazing. It's so similar to the human skeletons. And more specimens to see upstairs. Now I'm sitting downstairs and sketching these two dinosaur fossils with the arches and pillars behind. Here's my pencil draft. Now I'm sketching the this dinosaur, likely a Diplodocus. So I started drawing the skull first, and then the spine, forming the shape of the body. And then it's much easier to move forward by attaching the legs. So when sketching a dinosaur fossil, I recommend you to start drawing the head first, and then sketch out the curve of the neck and the spine. And then you can add on the rib cage and the legs. Now I'm just adding these smaller details inside the rib cage and these hanging bones on the neck. And keep adding more smaller interior details for the rib cage, and then adding the other leg on the other side. Now I'm drawing the thigh bones of the other dinosaur. And the tail bone, drawing some more leg bones, paying attention to the change of angles of the bone after the joint area. Now I'm sketching out the skull of this dinosaur that I'm not sure what kind it is. Yeah, this is the shape of the skull that I see, and these cavities. Yeah, and some cavities or eye sockets are pretty shaded, so I'm using solid brown ink. And loose hatching lines. There are actually a lot of slits to see as well. Now I'm drawing the neck bone. And then the much bigger rib cage compared to the other dinosaur. Now I'm drawing the segments of bones on the spine. And the last bit on the tail. And I think the dinosaur skeletons are done. Now I'm ready to sketch some people passing by, looking at the dinosaurs, and to suggest a sense of proportion that the dinosaurs are way bigger compared to humans. And now I want to draw a lady looking up at the dinosaur. That means her eyes are visually pretty high on the head. And the bang of her hair is very small visually. Yeah, it's being foreshortened. And now I'm just drawing her outfit with very relaxing, loose lines. And now I'm just sitting nice and quiet in this peaceful corner of the museum. It's time to do the lovely arches and pillars. And I just suggested 4 arches and 3 pillars, yeah, behind the dinosaur. And details always come after the big shapes are blocked in. So when drawing a complicated scenery like this, it's very important to calm down and see the big shapes first instead of getting overwhelmed by all the details. Now I'm adding another person passing by and more bigger shapes of arches to see for the upper level. And then drawing these pillars with a crown done first, and then 2 straight lines finishing the shape of these arches, and then detail. And I'm actually summarizing the layers of bricks instead of copying every single layer that's supposed to be on there. And my hand pressure is very gentle, suggesting the lines of bricks. Horizontal lines first, and then those short segments of vertical lines. And I see the glow of the indoor lighting is really nice behind the arches, in the hallways. So I'm just playing with 2 colors, Indian yellow, and then wet into wet, some quick punches of orange. So if you want to make the glow look really convincing, you have to be really bold using the quick punches of orange on top of the yellow. Same for the upstairs areas, so Indian yellow first, and then a quick stroke or 2 of orange, wet into wet. Nice and loose. Yeah, this is very satisfying to do. I'm actually creating a visual illusion of a bright, mysterious area of a museum. And the museum is getting quieter after lunch hour as the field trip kids are like gone. Now I'm peacefully taking my time to paint the brick walls. So for the first layer of these walls is very diluted yellow ochre. And then I'm using these large chunks of brush marks of orange mixed with burnt sienna at different ratios, leaving some gaps untouched to suggest the cement. Now I'm going to use colored pencils to color the dinosaur skeletons. So a staff at the museum just came over to me and said nicely that I'm not allowed to use watercolors in here. So I'm using 2 colors from my Faber-Castell polychromo colored pencil set, black and the dark brown. So I think using color pencils to shade these dinosaur skeletons is actually a very nice style, giving like a nice texture. Now I'm using brick brown from Holbein to give the dinosaur skeletons like a warmer tone. So just like using watercolor paint, it's always nice to use more than one color of colored pencils and just layer them to create an elevated sensation. And to shade certain areas heavier, you have to push a little harder and do more rubbing for those very shaded sides and edges. And here's the look of my finished sketch. It took me very much 2 hours to draw in color. And now it's time to move on to a nearby museum, the History of Science Museum. And so now I'm looking at this large painting that is photorealistic, painted by a scientist from over 200 years ago. and a lot of historical scientific instruments to see. I especially love these clocks. And this man over here, he's expressing that the blackboard used by Einstein looks kind of fake. Likely because the handwriting looks very neat and they framed it and put like a glass covering on top. And now we're looking at the earliest cameras in the world. Now we're walking to the Bud Lane libraries where they filmed the Harry Potter movies. And it kind of feels like a fort here, not a library. Anyway, now I'm walking into the souvenir shop here, looking at these cookies and chocolates, souvenir cookies and chocolates. And the weather is still not stable enough for me to sketch the Radcliffe camera, so I'm just keeping my fingers crossed for tomorrow, better weather. Now I'm visiting the All Souls College. So the inside of the college is not open to public, but it's nice to walk around the courtyard. Now we're back on the streets again, and we're going to the covered market for a late lunch. And it's a really cute, neat marketplace. So my mom was walking around here and discovered this Chinese restaurant while I was sketching at the cafe yesterday. So I ordered a chicken curry udon, and my mom ordered rice with vegetables. So the cooks at this restaurant, they happen to be from the same province as our family in China, and we speak the same dialect. So after the late lunch, I want to grab a cup of hot chocolate as dessert. So it's starting to rain now, and I'm sitting nice and safe inside, or actually under the big umbrella of this cafe, with plastic walls all around. I'm just tracing out these sections of 4 shortened buildings on the left. And this area of central Oxford is, I think it's called Westgate. Yeah, so here in the middle is the corner building. At this intersection, the right wing, and then more vertical lines to divide the buildings. Now, I want to capture a cyclist using short-term memory. So the body of a cyclist is always sitting in between the 2 wheels, always. And then I want to capture some pedestrians using very simple shapes for these heads and bodies and legs. Yeah, so I'm trying to draw a small crowd over here because this is likely the busiest area of Oxford. So inspired by Felix Scheinberger, I want to include a person here in the foreground, inviting the viewers into this urban scenery. And just including just one foreground person over here just suddenly makes this sketch, much more attractive. Yeah, so as usual, after the big shapes of building units, I'm ready to draw the smaller details like windows, stripes dividing the buildings into floors, window frame details, smaller window panels. So windows are very much like rectangular slabs carved out or denting inwards from the surface of the buildings. And for each building, the window patterns can be different, And these windows, they are getting increasingly foreshortened, moving towards the left. Yeah, so I'm having a lovely time here sitting down inside the booth of this cafe. And the hot chocolate is very tasty, not over sweetened, pretty creamy. And most of these buildings are like brick buildings. So I'm playing with the terracotta colors, yellow ochre, burnt sienna, and burnt umber, mixing together at different ratios. And there are just so many shades of terracotta tones. I think most of these buildings are like a medium tone containing a higher ratio of burnt sienna. The ones on the left, I think they contain a higher ratio of yellow ochre. Now I'm using cobalt blue mixing with imperial purple, playing with water control to shade these display windows. And just adding some final brush strokes. That's it. Here's a look of my finished sketch. It was like a 1 hour stay at this little cafe. And for dinner, we are having the takeout dishes and rice from the Chinese restaurant at the covered market. And the cooks also gifted us some spring rolls. That was a really nice dinner. And sitting inside this cozy kitchen of our Airbnb. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you around in the next vlog very soon. Another day in Oxford. Take care. Have a great weekend. Bye.